A while ago, I wound up reviewing a game in conjunction with the iFinity monitor setup that I have here in my home office. You can go back and look at it. It was like a big truck driving game, and I had a steering wheel attached to the computer, and it worked well enough. If I am a fan of a certain type of game, as long as it's not casual, it's usually like driving type of games. Whether I'm driving a car or a big truck or a space vehicle, I just like the idea of flying around on some kind of road. If you can actually see the road and you're not in some kind of space vehicle that doesn't need roads. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. Wasn't that the original quote from Back to the Future? I remember seeing Back to the Future in the theater with my grandfather. That's how old I am. It's very old. Did you realize that originally in Back to the Future, Zemeckis had it scripted that Doc Brown and Marty get into a refrigerator and travel back in time? It's true. But Zemeckis didn't want to keep the refrigerator as the vehicle because he was afraid that after the movie was released, kids would climb into a refrigerator to think they could go back in time. And that's a bad idea. You never want to climb into a refrigerator. True story. If you don't believe me, look it up. That is a true story. It was originally not a DeLorean, but a refrigerator. So, let's stick on the topic of roads and cars and vehicles and hardware, things that probably won't get you killed, like a Logitech Driving Force GT. We've just posted a review, our review, on LockerGnome.com. No, Logitech did not send it to us. This was actually a purchased product. Shocker! Believe it or not. And we thought it would be good for us to share our opinions of the Logitech Driving Force GT. And there are, of course, other combinations like the Logitech G25 and G27. And he noted, in terms of the actual review, because it wasn't me who reviewed it, I already have a steering wheel, I'm happy with it. John McKinley, also known as this damn Scotsman, said that the Driving Force GT is built for the PS3, but can run on the PC with drivers available, of course, from Logitech's website. They give you an option to have 40 degrees of motion to a full 900 degrees of motion in a full 2.5 turns, so like 2.5. This is, that's quite a distance, I guess, for a steering wheel. You wouldn't want it to go all the way, right, and keep going. Remember, like, arcades? Who else went to the arcade when you were a kid? And the steering wheel just, it wouldn't stop, right? It just kept going and going and going. I always loved racing games. The wheel has 20 programmable buttons on the front, or 24 if you include the point of view controls, which is really, really nice. There are times that, I'm in a racing game, whether, it's on a, mobile device or, say, a traditional desktop machine or possibly even on a console. And I want to change the point of view, and knowing that it's easy to switch, or there's a control that's specifically built for that in relation to the steering wheel, it's a good thing, I would say. So, more than anything, if you enjoy racing games and you do not have a steering wheel controller, you may think about picking one up. Over the years, my favorite racing games were, let's see here, on the Atari, it was Slot Racer. That wasn't really a racing game, but it was a car game. On NES, I loved Rad Racer and RC Pro-Am. Those are my favorites for the original NES. Let's see here, what else did I have for a console? There was, what was the one? Le Mans for the C64. It wasn't really I guess it was a racing game, but not like a racing game like you guys consider. I always liked Ridge Racer. Played that on the PSP. I did on the Xbox as well. And then what was it? Burnout? Was that the name of the game where you get more points by the more you crash into cars? They had that on the Xbox 360. I had it on the PSP. I think it was wasn't that Burnout? Gosh, it's been so long since I played it. I can't even remember. Real Racing is a good one for iOS, and I've got a handful of racing game on here. Burnout is amazing. Yeah, Burnout. Okay, see, I thought that was it. So hang on. Let me see if I can find a couple of my favorite. I've got so many of these darn games installed on here. I'm not kidding. I've got look at all these games. It's crazy. I have a racing category, I swear. Radio, no. I wish I could, organize them in alphabetical order or something. Smash Cops, that's not really a... I like car games. What in the entire existence of car games, what has been your favorite?